everybody, and welcome to another edition of WMSC's Local Live. We are live from Anodyne. We have a live audience. Give yourselves a hand, everybody. Tonight's show is also being live streamed. You can catch the video being streamed at WMSC.org as well as our YouTube. And is there another channel? I don't know if we have another channel anymore.
You can do Facebook, you can do Instagram, and you can do Vimeo.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Before I go into this next bit, I want to let everyone know that today is Cal Roach's last Local Live. Cal, you've done a phenomenal job of keeping this ship going. You and Aaron really brought this to such a height of excitement. And just know from all of the people at WMSC in our hearts that we're really going to miss you.
Oh, thanks, Sid. I appreciate that. It's been a heck of a ride. 10 years, a long time. And, well, it's been great. And I feel great that I'm handing it off to you. So.
Gosh. Local Live is presented by Third Space Brewing. You have your home, you have your work, but everyone needs a third space. Now let's blow it off the roof, Astral hand, to send out Cal the right way.
Thank you.
It is WMSE's Local Live. We've got Astral Hand on stage. Could you guys introduce yourselves for our audience, please?
You betcha, Cal. Ham Vic.
There's Anthony on bass. We got Dan Dahl on drums, and I'm Al.
All right. I had to do a little research, and it turns out we haven't had you on Local Live since way back in 2014, almost when I was just starting this show. And back then you were called Calliope.
Yes,
and
we were.
I know
True
this is
story.
kind of old news for your fans, but can you tell us a little bit about the journey from being Calliope to transforming into Astral Hand?
Honestly, it kind of really started with, we brought in Dan on drums, Anthony on bass, eventually after a few years of, being with other musicians, and the music just kind of took on its own new, different vibe. We were no longer a kind of 60s psychedelic circus anymore. And we were sick of being called Calliope or Calliope or whatever else we were called. We had a song called Astral Hand, and we stuck with that. So far, so good.
I think I would agree with that. You were known in Calliope and still as Astral Hand for your kind of exotic vinyl pressings. You had one of your last Calliope album actually had sand inside the record, right?
It did.
Who did you work with on pressing these weird vinyls, and who comes up with these design ideas?
I took the last one. Vic, you wanna take this one?
I'd love to. So we partnered with Romanus Records. They're located in Indianapolis, Indiana. And honestly, that's kind of all their wizardry. We have a little bit of creative input, but they kind of specialize in smaller runs of boutique vinyl, I guess. So that's kind of where their artistry comes in. It's I guess part of the band thing. When you go in the studio, you trust the engineer. You trust the mastering guy, and then you just got to trust the vinyl guy that he's going to do something cool. And yeah, Chris Banta always delivers. So yeah, that's who we were privileged to work with this time around on putting out Lords of Data.
Lords of Data, of course, being the new album by Astral Hand. I've seen some of the images of the vinyl that's out for this, and it's really stunning. I think people need to, if you haven't seen, it's not your typical just a two-color splatter thing or something. These are really incredible designs on these, so hats off for that, definitely.
All right, so video for contact. You guys are mysteriously working, and you make contact, I believe, by watching this video with something else out there. Do you believe that there is something else out there?
I mean, the song says, "Are we alone here?" We're not really sure. Might have read a lot of Carl Sagan during the time of writing those lyrics.
If I may say, just speak editorially, yes, absolutely, without a doubt. Yeah.
Who did the video for you guys?
There's a local guy named Eddie in the band The Keystones.
Oh, sure.
Who does really great work. So we were excited to partner with him, and we all kind of had our collective creative vision of what we wanted to, this visual universe we wanted to create. And yeah, we're happy with how it turned out.
It's obvious that imagery is really important. It's part of the whole concept of this album. And you're right now wearing black mock turtlenecks with the emblem on the side, and in the video you're wearing scientist lab coats. Are you going to continue this? Will there be a show with lab coats? Are you going to do your own version of the Devo Dome? I mean, what's next, Astral Hand? What is next?
I mean, we started with some white jumpsuits at one point in time. As Anthony just gestured, they were very warm to play
Didn't breathe.
They were unfortunately destroyed during a Thunderbird wine accident at Boone and Crockett. Let's just say red wine and white jumpsuits might not mix very well together.
But what is next? I don't know. We were thinking invisibility cloaks, perhaps. That'd be pretty sweet, but I don't know. We'll see if it's in the budget. Gotta talk to our guy.
Now these emblems on your shirt, they're not quite Star Trek emblems, I don't think. What are they? Anything specific, or did you design these yourselves?
Yeah, sorry to disappoint the Trekkies in the audience, but no, this is an Al Kramer original design.
Okay.
It came out of a poster design with the hand and the diamond in the middle.
Okay.
We kept
All
it.
right.
We're like, ooh, we're keeping this. We're putting it on stuff. It's on stickers, shirts. It's on our new shirts that we have for sale.
Good to know. Well, I know you've got a nice long set for us lined up here, about 4 songs. So let's settle back in and get ready for a nice long set from Astral Hand here.
Eyes cannot
Thank you, everybody, for coming out. This is really cool. A little bit bigger than the WMSE studio, too.
Thanks so much, guys.
Wow. Just to remind everyone, we are watching Astral Hand down here at Anodyne on Bruce Street. If you are tuned in and listening or watching online. That was incredible, you guys. That was really amazing. Let's clap one more time.
Stunning set.
Seriously.
Feels incredible. Feels really great to be in the space and doing this, so thanks for having us.
So you made this record with Shane Hochstedler, who's a master genius, and then the world stops, and you gotta wait, and you put it out. Was it worth the wait? Like I personally, I feel like people are going out to shows and everything like that more now. Like even as unfortunate as it was that you couldn't get it out, like share some feelings on that.
It was, you know, we had already put so much time and effort into, you know, the rebranding process and, you know, putting intention into making an album we thought was better than what we were making before, and just releasing that into a world that was kind of, you know, live music wasn't really happening, and releasing a record into that was just
Not the right time.
not the right time.
Horrible time. Horrible time to release a debut album right on the onset of a pandemic. So, yeah, just waiting till the time was right. We put a lot of time and energy, creative energy into it. So, just wanted to get our best bang for the buck, I guess. We're kind of suckers for a good deal. So,
Are you blown away by the response to it?
We're
yes.
very happily surprised.
And for us that are not in the know, what is an astral hand?
It's a mystery.
It's a trick question.
You know, what comes to mind when you think of a cosmic hand other than a force that guides the cosmos? I just made that up right now.
So if you're familiar with the economics concept, the invisible hand by Adam Smith, it's like that, but a much cooler version, let me assure you.
Fantastic.
That's a relief. I want to talk a little bit about the album cover for the new album because it's. I mean, I don't know exactly what it is. It looks like it could be part of a spaceship. It could be part of a space helmet. Who made that image, and what's your interpretation of it?
There's an artist who goes by the name of Pena Branca, and we really just liked his art direction in general from what we saw on social media and stuff. And we contacted him, asked him if he would be interested, and he listened to the album, and that was the first image he sent back to us.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we just gave him just sort of a free reign of interpretation, not really any like super specific direction. And he had like a whole essay. Like we were kind of blown away. We were like, wow, damn, he thought about this more than we did for sure. But he's super happy with the results. I think it was something along the lines of there's 4 members in the band, so it was like 4, and there's kind of like 4 lines going upwards towards the sky, so it was kind of like something like that, just kind of ascending into space, more or less.
Okay. Well, I feel like it has to be a requirement to be in the band that you are into sci-fi and that type of stuff. Is that true?
Doesn't hurt.
We
Definitely helps.
We watch
the chemistry.
Spaceballs every time we get together, so yes.
Perfect. I was going to ask if each of you have like a favorite sci-fi book or movie that influences you at all in your musical pursuits.
I'm not going to say Dune.
Try hard not to.
Not going to do it.
I'm not going to say Blade Runner either.
I guess I won't say Valis. Dan's got Jurassic Park.
I want to ask the book or the movie, but we'll just let it go. We'll just let that slide. I'm wondering if you guys have any shows coming up that you want to tell people about now that shows are totally a thing and your album is out officially.
The most major show that we have in the near future Anthony is forming a 2-piece band with his wife, and they're going to raise a child. So that's coming up in a couple weeks. So that's honestly, we're just kind of making some time for him to get used to that.
Sure.
And we're just, I don't know, we're just taking a breather. It was like, after having essentially 2.5 years off, pandemic, yada, yada, getting back into it, it was exhausting. Kind of forgot how much time and then energy it takes to do all this stuff. And it was a huge push, to get this album across the finish line and do what we have done so far, just because we're going to take a little, what do they call that?
A break?
A break, yeah.
Little
We
hiatus.
have a lot of new
possible?
music we want to work on too. We've been playing this set for 4 years, which is kind of crazy.
So do you have a bunch of new songs that you're ready to unleash? Have you been playing new songs at shows at all, or are you just focusing on this now and then move on to the next chapter?
We're waiting until, maybe we're ready to start working on getting into a studio to dive back into the new stuff.
Okay.
But we have a band space now, little studio that we go and practice and write at and stuff. So we'll be putting in work for album number 2, The Search for More Money. Rimshot, Dan, come on.
I think that was a Star Trek reference right there.
Yep, Star Wars.
I mentioned the different vinyl editions. How many different editions are there?
There's 4.
Okay.
There was they call them they're customs, the Romanus Records customs. Those are the ones that you saw with like the sand for Calliope.
Mm-hmm.
They had they named them Alien Hologram or something like that, and they had, some sort of screen printed pattern inside of them with some sort of other holographic glitter or something in there. There was those. There were some one-off splatters, which are the really crazy splatters of all different colors and weird patterns and stuff. And then we had the tricolor, which is 3 colors, and kind of our clear background with multicolor splatter, which is those 2 are your kind of normal records that we have.
Okay. And what about compact discs for people who are still into those? Do you make those, or
We won't be mad if you burn one of our album.
Okay. That's free permission to everyone out there. Burn a copy if you need a CD of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you do buy vinyl, you get a free download code, so what you do with it after that is up to you, as long as you're not pirating it and selling it to other people. It'd be great.
No resale, okay. So you've got one more set for us, a couple more songs. I see one of those is called God Emperor, which is definitely not a sci-fi reference at all.
Not at all.
But what about Navigator? What can you say in introduction to this song?
Well, in the Dune universe, there are pilots who live on the spice. They need the spice to navigate through, space. Fold space, they call it. But this album has nothing to do with Dune. It's more of we wrote it to try to get a sync with Lincoln Navigator, but it backfired miserably. We might have a lawsuit on our hands. I really don't know.
Okay, so I'm on pins and needles. Of all the Dune movies that have been made, is there one that you actually like, or are you still waiting for the perfect Dune movie to be made?
I like the David Lynch Dune.
All right.
Same here.
Hey,
I
I'm just
agree.
gonna say it. Kyle MacLachlan, it's Twin Peaks in space. Everyone's there. Excited to see what Dennis does with the franchise. Hans Zimmer on the soundtrack. Bullseye.
Maybe you should submit some Astral Hand songs for the soundtrack.
Ooh, I like
saying.
that idea.
Step aside, Hans Zimmer. Astral Hand is coming in for Dune 2.
Well, let's hear these last two songs that you have for us and get into the Dune mentality here on WMSC's Local Live.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out tonight. Thank you to WMSE for having us once again after almost 10 years.
Let's give it up for Cal. 10 years.
Thank you, Astral Hand. That was fantastic. Tell people how they can keep up with everything going on in the Astral Hand world. Website or social media.
Oh, sure, yeah, socials. Just Astral Hand everything. We are very Google friendly.
Excellent.
The only thing that might be conflicting, you might see a West Borland Astral Hand or Hormone Biscuit Guitars thing pop up, but don't be confused with that. It's very Google friendly, yeah. Astralhand.com and, links and things.
Good to know. And the new record available at record stores locally?
We're working on that. We actually have a couple of records with us tonight. If you wanted to get your hands on one, we could arrange that. Hoping to have some in the local record stores by Record Store Day.
Perfect.
The Room in Madison has some, which is a record store out there. And otherwise, if tonight or Record Store Day doesn't work for you, you could head over to romanusrecords.com and place an order through those guys for the time being. But we should have them on our Bandcamp page, astralhand.bandcamp.com, probably sometime after Record Store Day, so maybe in about 3 weeks or so.
All right, perfect. Well, thanks a lot, you guys, for playing and talking to us. That was fantastic.
Thank you for having us.
As mentioned, it is my last night on Local Live, so I just do want to say thanks to Aaron Wolf, who is here tonight, for asking me to do this show 10 years ago or so, and I still don't know why she asked me to do it, but I think we did a good job. I think we created something beautiful. So thanks, Aaron, and thanks to Tom Crawford for believing in us and putting us on the air in the first place. And I also have to thank Sid for working with me these past many months as we transition to the next phase. And you guys should know that Maggie Eichen from Pound Cake Punk and Matt Wild from Milwaukee Record are going to be helping out in the coming weeks as well. So Local Live is in great hands, and I'm so happy to be handing it off. But thanks to all the local musicians all these years. You guys are so amazing. We have such an amazing scene here. That's the reason the show exists, and I'm so grateful to all the local musicians who've been on the show. Thanks to Billy Cicerelli, who was our engineer for many years. Shout out to Billy. And thanks to Nick Ellert for taking over for Billy and being our new engineer. He's incredible. And everybody here on the crew at Anodyne that helps us out and every month at these shows. And the Nevers for taking us and rescuing the show during the pandemic when, honestly, we didn't know what was going to happen. I don't know what we would have done without them. So thanks to them. Thank you all for coming out. Thanks, everybody. And, yeah, I guess we got some end credits to do here. So I'll do this one more time. Tonight's edition of Local Live was broadcast and live streamed from Anodyne on Bruce and Walker's Point. Local Live is a production of 91.7 FM WMSE, produced by Sid and me. Audio and video engineering by Neverland Productions. All graphics by Rock Design. Band hospitality by Transfer Pizza. And Local Live is presented by Third Space Brewing. You have your home, you have your work, but everyone needs a third space. Thanks again to Astral Hand. You guys are incredible.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Find upcoming.
Having liftoff here.
I like it. I like everything about that. Find upcoming guests and archives of past Local Live segments at WMSC.org and tune in again next Tuesday at 6 p.m. for another in-studio session with musical guest Resurrections. And stay tuned for more info about our next Live from Anodyne show. It's going to be Trapper Shep on May 2nd. Yay. So come on down for that because it's going to be awesome. Thank you. You've been an amazing audience. Astral Hand, mind-blowingly amazing. Awesome.
Thanks again, everybody.